today لكن we're gonna start with it. So for tutorial 2 we will start talking about our derivative. راح نبدأ نتكلم عن الديريفاتيف اللي هو finding the differentiation, in other words اللي هو الاشتقاق. Okay. The first thing whenever we talk about the derivative is talking about the slope of a straight line. So this is what we're going to talk about today. Today I'm going to introduce to you what we call the slope of a straight line. The slope of a curve of a point, number 2, but then we will talk about the derivative, limit and the derivative, some rules of differentiation, more about the derivative and the derivative as a rate of change. Okay, at the end of the class, Serene, inshallah, I'm going to do a small revision. Still احنا عندنا next class by the way. next class امتحانكم الأربعاء. احنا راح ناخذ محاضرة الثلاثاء، فأراجع لكم المرة الجاية أحسن تكونون دارسين وجايبين أسئلتكم معاكم. Okay. So today we are talking about the slope of the straight line, and we continue next time inshallah. So first of all we will introduce what we call the non-vertical line. We introduced the lines before. قلنا إن the line can be like this. The line can be horizontal, أفقي, and the line can be vertical. صح? Do you remember this? It can be a line just like this with a slope. It can be horizontal or it can be vertical. Now, what we are talking about now is not the vertical line. We mentioned that this is not a function and we are not considering it now. What we will talk about in this definition is the equation of the non-vertical line. The equation that is not vertical is written as following: y equal to mx plus b. Y is my variable, x is variable again. Now m and b are constant. M will be ثوابت تعتمد على السؤال. Example, if I have y equal to 3x minus 4, m is 3 and the b is minus 4. What is the m? M is what we call the slope أو الميل. الانحناء حق اللاين. ميل اللاين. Will B is what we call the y-intercept, يعني where we cut the y. Okay? For example, if I have y equal to 3x minus 4, it means in I have a slope 3 and I have a y-intercept minus 4. Yeah, this is the chapter 2. Now let me show you a little bit more details about this. Say you have this line. You cut here at 2. And you cut here at 1. This is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. Okay? Where I cut the y is what I call the y-intercept. Where I cut the x, can you stop the side talking, please? Stop talking about the quiz. Now more than 5 times I talk about the quiz. If you have any question after we finish, please. Stop talking about the quiz. So where I cut the y, this is very important, by the way. This is very important. What I'm talking about here can stay with you till the end of the course. The straight line thing هذا من أهم الأشياء. You need to understand it. إيش يعني straight line؟ إيش يعني slope؟ إيش يعني x intercept؟ وإيش يعني y intercept؟ Stop the side talking. So the y intercept is where I'm cutting the y. The x intercept is where I cut the x. I cut the x when the y is equal to 0 ولا when y is 0 I'm gonna cut the x. أنا ما تحركت على الواي. The y is not up and down. الواي 0 على الx. And I cut the y when x is 0. When the x is 0, I'm cutting the y. So this is why we call this the y-intercept. This is why we call this the x-intercept. As a point, البوينت هذه 0x and 2y. And as a point, this point is 1x and 0y. It doesn't have a y, no y up or down. So this is the x-intercept, this is the y-intercept. Now the equation of this line, it can be like minus 3x plus 2. What is this 2? This is the y-intercept. What is this 3? It's the slope اللي هو الميل. You can see the board or not? شايفين البورد ولا لا؟ dismiss. شايفينها؟ شايفين الشير سكرين؟
واضحة.
Yeah. So this is the equation of the line. It looks like this. Y equal to something multiplied with x plus a constant. شايفين الشاشة ولا لا؟ أنا عندي الشاشة واضحة. Just 1 second. الحين واضح؟ اوكي. الماينس 3 اللي هو الميل او ذا سلوب اللي هو الانحناء حق اللاين، وال2 is the y intercept اللي هو where I cut the y axis. In general, the equation is like y equal to mx plus b. الm دائما نسميها السلوب، والb دائما نسميها الy intercept اللي هو وين احنا قاعدين نقطع الواي، وين انا قاعد امر في الواي. معطينا في السؤال، يعني هو دائما الايكويشن اوف a line يكون معطيني اياها في السؤال. Now let me give you one more example here. If I have this equation of the line y equal to 2x plus 5, what is the slope in this case? الميل أو السلوب أو what we call the m in this case, it's equal to what? 2. And what is the y-intercept? يعني المكان اللي راح أقطع فيه y. Or what we call b, it's 5. So if I want to draw this, this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. أنا راح أقطع y عند 5 and this will be my line. This will be my line. Notice إن السلوب positive. السلوب الميل positive بمعنى إن اللاين is going up. We look from the left. أنا أشوف من اليسار اللاين طالع. اللاين طالع. Okay. If you check the previous question, the slope is minus 3. The slope is minus 3. معناها اللاين نازل. اللاين قاعد ينزل. كده. This is the way يا عبد العزيز. We look from the left. كأنها طيارة نازلة. كأنها landing airplane. اللاين نازل. The slope is the gradient. Yeah, another way to talk about the slope is talking about the gradient. Okay? This is the way, Abdulaziz. This is the rule. We look from the left. It's like an airplane. Airplane نازلة لأن the slope is negative. وهنا it is a positive slope. 2. The slope is positive. So my line is up. Is flying up. Cutting at the 5. Okay? A third example. A third example, if you have y equal to 8. This is an equation of a line. Where is the slope? What is m? What is the slope? It is 0 as actually. بالضبط. يا سديم. إذا قطعنا من فوق راح يكون positive، من تحت بيكون negative. The slope is 0 لأن I cannot see the x part، معناها the slope is 0. And what is the y-intercept here? What's the y-intercept اللي هو B? It's the 8. الحين in case the slope is 0, it's not positive, it's not negative، فلا هو طالع ولا هو نازل. It's actually horizontal. I'm cutting at 8 and my line is a horizontal line. This is my line. هذا ال x-axis and this is the y-axis, and in this case my line is horizontal and it's not positive, it's not negative. Okay? كيف عرفت انها zero؟ Have a look at the equation. هذه equation of line. The equation of a line is y equal to mx plus b. طيب where is the mx هنا؟ We don't have mx. We don't have mx هنا. معناها ان ال m بzero. This part goes because the m is 0 and the 8 is my b. I compare it to this standard form of the equation. دائما we compare it to this one. Now you will see some examples later on. Just I want you to understand الحين. If you have a look at such equation, ال m is the slope, will b is the y-intercept. ايش يعني ال y-intercept? Where I cut the y. ايش يعني السلوب؟ اللي طالع او نازل او horizontal. Positive يعني up, negative يعني down, zero معناها it's a horizontal line. I give you 3 examples. هذا line نازل negative slope. هنا growing line positive slope. And here we have a zero slope معناها it's horizontal line. Okay? Now here they show you 3 different examples of 3 lines. They have the same slope لكن the intercept is different. صح؟ شايفين؟ The slope here is 2. Consider this. This is the equation of the line. What is the m هنا? 2. What's the intercept here? It's -1. So I cut عند ال -1 and my line is growing. طالع. Check this one. What's my m? It's 2. And what's my b? What's my intercept? في intercept هنا 0 صح؟ I cut ال y عند 0. I cut the y عند 0. لكن again my line is growing. Check this one هنا. What's the m? It's 2 positive. يعني the line is growing. And what's the b? What's the intercept in this case? It's 1. So I cut عند ال 1 زي ما انتم شايفين. And this is my line. Notice ان the 3 lines are parallel. نسميهم parallel يعني متوازيين. If I call this one line 1, if I call this one line 2, if I call this one line 3, then line 1 is parallel to line 2, parallel to line 3. Why? لأن the slope is the same. كلهم نفس السلوب لكن cutting is different. One time I cut at -1, one time I cut at the 0, one time I cut at the 1. Does this make sense? They are parallel, متوازين. lines متوازين هنا. لأن لهم نفس الميل. نفس الميل، كلهم الميل حقهم 2 2 2. فاللاين متوازين. ايش اللي متغير؟ الانترسبت. مرة قطعت عند ال -1، مرة قطعت عند ال 0، ومرة قطعت عند ال 1. Yeah. فالparallel lines هذا الكونسبت of parallel line it happen in a line are parallel if they have the same slope. إذا كان لهم نفس السلوب نفس الميل in this case we say they are parallel. ماشي؟ أي أحد عنده أي سؤال؟ Now هنا معطيني one more example. three lines واضح انهم parallel as well. Now for this one what's the slope؟ ايش الام؟ دائما قدام عيني الايكويشن y equal to mx plus b. The standard form of equation. M is minus 2. ننتبه, we have to take the sign as well. And what is the y-intercept in this case? minus 1. Yeah. فالcutting of the y عند minus 1. والline is falling. الline is falling line لأن it is minus to the slope. It's negative, so my line is falling. Check the other line, the line 2. What's the m? What's the m here? It's minus 2, yeah. And what's the b? Is 0. يعني I'm cutting the y عند 0. I'm cutting the y at the 0. Check this one. What's my m? Again, it's the same. Minus 2. And what's my y-intercept? I'm cutting y عند وين? عند ال 1. Yeah. فنوتس إن السلوب هنا all the same. What's different is where we cut the y. One time we cut it عند minus 1, one time we cut it at the 0, one time we cut it at the 1. Okay, I want this to go up.
دكتورة.
Yeah.
طب سؤال الميل نقط 2 فكيف بعرف شكل الخط يعني انه درجة ميلانه؟
درجة الميلان هذه ما راح تكون دقيقة unless إن I have 2 points. صح؟
ايه
إن لازم يكون عندي 2 points عشان أكون مرة accurate about my line.
ايه صح.
الحين what we are doing is just giving example to show you إن في slope وفي y-intercept. لكن الحين if I want to draw the line exactly, if I want to draw the line with the same exact slope أحتاج 2 points. صح؟
صح.
And this is what we'll discuss later الحين إن how to draw the line, how to find the equation of the line, and how to use the slope as well to draw the line. ماشي؟ الحين احنا what we are doing is just يعني in general in showing it's sloping up or slowing down. Now you are correct. يعني مثلا maybe somebody can draw it like this. صح؟ So how can I be sure and know which one is the correct slope? طبعا I need more information. I need points. I need more information about how to draw it.
يعني ما في مشكلة على الخط أي شكل.
Yeah, exactly. Now for now and we don't care much. يعني بعدين later on we'll see in I need 2 points. نقطتين أو نقطة a point with the slope to draw it and we will discuss this. Just wait.
Okay, إن شاء الله يعطيك العافية.
You're welcome. So we have this example. We have a salesperson. Now they are trying to show you. طبعا the course is this course is not just calculus. It's application of calculus. All the time you will see whenever we talk about mathematical thing, we go to apply it to the real life. We talk about this straight line thing. We talk about in the line y equal to mx plus b. B is the y-intercept اللي هي لما I'm cutting y يعني لما الx بزيرو it's the point 0 and b. And this one is the slope. Okay, and the slope is defined to be the change in y divided by the change in x. معدل تغير ال y بالنسبة لتغير ال x. This will be our next slide. فthose are the two things. عندنا السلوب وعندنا ال y-intercept. ال y-intercept يعطيني لما x 0 what will be the y. والسلوب give me the rate of change of the y with respect to x. يعني كم تتغير y divided by كم راح تتغير x. Okay. I can see إن مريم wrote the equation بس إن it is upside down. It should be y2 minus y1 على x2 by x1 يا مريم. So in this example, we have a sales weekly pay depends on the volume of the sales. If she sells X units of goods, then the payment she's getting is y equal to 5x plus 60. Have a look at the pay she's getting. It's a line equation, ولا y equal 5 في x plus 60. Okay, if you draw it, it looks like this. I'm cutting the y and the 60. So this point is 0 and 60. And the slope is 5. The rate of change is 5. So what does it mean? الحين the 5 اللي هو ال rate of change اللي هو ال slope, it's 5 over 1. And as we said, this means the change in y divided by the change in x. What is my x? It's the sales. What is my y? It's the pay. So since m is 5 على 1, معناها her pay change is $5 for each one sale she's making. الواي هنا الدولارز والإكس is the units she's selling. فإيش يعني 5 على 1؟ معناها she's getting $5 for each one unit she's selling. Again, I have a look at the equation وأسحب منها السلوب الM. The slope is 5 اللي هي 5 على 1. And I know إن the slope is the change في y على change في x. I read the question again. What's the x? It's the unit she's selling. And what's the y? The y is the dollars she will receive. فال5 على 1 it's like dollars على units. فمعنى الكلام هذا إنه she's getting $5 for each one unit she's selling. ليش 5؟ أخذتها من هنا. This is the 5 اللي هي السلوب. 5 is 5 1. Why I make it like 5 على 1؟ لأن I'm talking about slope اللي هو change y على change x. But I have to have a number down to compare with. It's 5 على 1. ال 5 is 5 على 1. What's the 5? ال 5 لحالها معناها 5 على 1. Why I make it like 5 على 1? I want a bottom عشان أنا I have in the slope is the change y change x. I need a bottom to compare with. The y is the dollars and the x is the units she's selling. So this means that she's getting $5 for each one unit. Okay, so this is the first information we get from the slope. الحين we have to have a look at the intercept اللي هو 60. So the intercept 60 means the point 0 and 60. الحين the point 0 and 60, the 0 is the x and احنا اتفقنا ان ال x is the unit and the 60 is the dollars. فايش معنى الكلام هذا؟ معناها if she sells 0 units she's getting $60. فهذا minimum payment she's having. So if she sells 0 unit she gets $60. فهذا minimum payment. هذا أقل payment she will get. الانترسبت lead me to know إن إيش minimum payment that she's getting. إذا باعت 0 unit she will get $60. But those are the two informations we can extract from this equation. بس من equation and I got two things. The first one from the slope the second one from the intercept. من السلوب عرفت إن كل 5 unit كل 1 unit sorry she will get $5. And from the intercept عرفت إن even if she sells 0 units she will get $60. بالضبط x is equal to 0 to get the y intercept. You are correct. And we let x0 to get the x0 to get the y intercept and we let y0 to get the x intercept. If she sells 80 units, معناها ان x is equal to 80. So you have to put it in the equation. So the y equal to 5 في 80 plus 60 and calculate it. It's 460. You have to calculate this. Now هذا the initial يا محمد. Initially إن إذا 0 unit 60 وبعدها تبدأ تاخذ $5 على كل 1 unit. Initially it is $60 بدون ما تكون باعت ولا شيء. بعدين for each 1 unit more $5. طيب, we are almost done with this. Yeah, so this is 460. One more slide here. Two more slides actually. Two more slides and I'm gonna leave the exercises for next time. Now, first one, we have the slope interpretation هنا. احنا we said إن the slope is m. M is like m over 1. Okay, the slope is like m and the m is like m over 1. As I said, it is the change في y divided by the change في x. Okay, we mentioned that the slope is like change y على change x. So if I want to draw it, this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. So the amount of change في y على الامount of change في x. فالchange في y is m والchange في x is 1. So we move في y direction by m ونتحرك في x direction by 1. This is if m positive. If m is negative, we move 1 in the direction of x and minus m in the direction of y. And if m is 0, معناها it's not up or down, so the line is horizontal. For the one that was asking me in why we look from the left, ليش الline growing from the left? This is why. لأن لو كانت الm positive راح نتحرك 1 unit في الx و m unit positive في الy. لو كانت الm negative I'm gonna move 1 unit في الx و minus m negative في الy. So my line will be falling. If m is exactly 0, it's not up, not down, my line is horizontal. And this is one of the most important relation اللي هي ال y change على ال x change. This will give me the slope. M is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 اللي هي ال change في ال y by the change في ال x.
ها
So some properties as well we have in the equation of the line. The standard form of the equation of the line is y equal to mx plus b, as we know. What if I have a slope and I have a point? Then this is the equation of the line. It's y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1. Two lines are said to be parallel, يعني متوازيين, if they have the same slope. We mentioned this before. I say in the line 1 is parallel to line 2 if they have the same slope. إذا كان m1 equal to m2. The slope of the two lines is the same. And two lines are said to be perpendicular. إيش يعني perpendicular? I'm gonna go back to the previous one, no problem. Let me finish this. Two lines are said to be perpendicular. Perpendicular يعني متعامدين. إيش يعني متعامدين؟ يعني الزاوية ما بينهم قائمة. This is line 1 and this is line 2. 90 degree in between them. That's correct. So we say two lines. Line 1 is perpendicular to line 2. If the slope of the first one is m1, then the slope of the second one is -1. This is the slope. M1 is the slope of the first one. Then the m2 is equal to -1 على m1. إذا slope الأولاني is m1, slope of the second one is -1 على m1. In other words, the multiplication of the two slopes is -1. Example, إذا كان ال L1 عندها slope is equal to 2, فالline 2 will have a slope equal to -1 على 2. We change the sign and we switch. Okay, the lines can be perpendicular, the lines can be parallel sometimes. إذا parallel they have the same slope. إذا perpendicular كأن واحد فيهم معكوس ال slope with a minus sign. إذا the first one has a slope 2, the second one will have a slope -1/2. And this is the previous slide. And this one just the first property is not that much important for us لأن it's just showing يعني إن how إن إذا كانت ال m positive the line is growing, how إن لما ال m is negative the line is falling, and how إن لما ال m بزيرو the line is stay horizontal. الimportant هذا. This relation is the most important thing in this page. How to calculate the slope. الchange في y على الchange في x by subtracting y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. For slide number 9, no complication, ما فيها أي مشكلة. They give me the equation of the line that represent a relation between two things, between the units and the dollars. Okay, هذا أول شيء. The vertical line is out of our scope لأن it's not a function حتى. Yeah. The gradient حقه is infinity. So they give me here equation of a line which is y equal to 5x plus 60. الإيكويشن هذه تعطيني relation between two things. الx اللي هي اليونتس الوحدات اللي هي بعدها، والy اللي هي الدولارز اللي هي الباي الماني that she will get. صح ولا لا؟ and you can see it هنا number of sale اللي هي اليونت، وهنا الباي اللي هو الدولارز that she will get pay. but this is the relation between x and between the y، ما بين اليونت وما بين الدولارز. فالquestion عطونا interpretation. they want interpretation يعني تفسير للسلوب وللواي intercept. فأجي أمسكهم واحد واحد وأفسرهم. Okay. Let me clear up the place here. I have a look first of all للسلوب. The slope is 5. The 5 is nothing but 5 على 1. Why? Because I want to talk about change في y على change في x. هذا السلوب is change y على change x. الحين what's y? dollars. And what is x? units. فايش معنى الكلام هذا؟ معناها كل $5 كل 1 unit نبدأها من الإكس لأن الإكس is the independent. For each 1 unit she's getting $5. معناها for each 1 unit she gets $5. صارت واضحة؟ let me write it as dollars زي ما كتبناها هنا. فهذا ال first thing. أخذت السلوب and I interpret the slope. In number 2, I'm gonna take the 60, the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 60, which is 0 and 60. هذا y-intercept. Again, هذا x وهذا y. What is x? Units. What is the y? Dollars. So what does this mean? It means for each 0 units, she gets $60. فهذا اللي I get it from the y-intercept. إن كل 0 units she will get $60. This is the interpretation بس. هذا معنى الكلام هذا. معناها each one unit she will get $5 وinitially لما انها تبيع 0 units راح تاخذ $60 كبداية حتى لو ما باعت أي شيء. وبعدين she will start getting 1 unit for each $1 she sell. Sorry, she was getting $5 for each 1 unit she will sell. وضحت الفكرة؟ فعلى حسب هذا مثلا if she sell مثلا 1 unit كم راح تستلم؟ ال60 هذه ثابتة تاخذها دائما صح؟ و each 1 unit she will get $5 فمعناها she will get $65. yeah. طيب say إن she sell 2 units. ال60 هذه ثابتة تاخذها أساسية. ولكل واحدة من اليونت she's getting 5 so 10 so she will get 70 and so on. طبعا equation is very helpful هنا. الحين لو قلت إن she sell like 10 units she sell 10 units so معناها she will get 5 في 10 plus 60 which is 50 plus 60 which is 110. This is the beauty about using equations هنا. helps in estimation. أقدر أتوقع إن كم راح تاخذ لو باعت كذا لو ما باعت كذا. You got it now? Read this carefully next time and we will complete. Huh? We didn't finish. Now we talk about the straight line. We know the slope. We know the intercept. We know the equation of the line. We know the equation to find the slope. We still didn't start practicing in how to find the equation of the line and those things. Next time, inshallah. Okay?